Yep. What other stories do you have on your
Oh,
side?
well, I'm going to tell you my story. Uh, so I own a cleaning company, and what I would say is I've learned from this story, which I'm going to about to tell you, and transfer it into how I run my business now. And the other thing I want to share with you is, I'm like you, I have my MBA, and I've been in the financial space for a long time. So I want to make sure that everyone knows this has nothing to do with intelligence.
Very good point.
Nothing to do with intelligence. This is really sophisticated systems that prey on our trust. Social engineering is the quickest way to break through and to get things. And, that's why it's done from the dating space, it's done in the business space. It's like it's no joke. So let me bring you into my world. Um, let's see how old my son is now. So it was probably 15 years ago. A little bit, maybe a little bit, maybe 12 to 15 years ago. I had three kids. I still have three kids. Of course, now they're teenagers, and half the time I don't know. I always say with these children, like I'm pouring into them, but now it's like, I get 5 or 6 words, a week. So I have these three kids. Now, as a math person, I was doing daycare, and I realized the average daycare is $1,000 a month if you're in a decent daycare. Now multiply it by three. That's a
Hmm.
lot of daycare. And that's what I was looking at. I was roughly paying about $3,000 a month because I had young kids. So I had this idea. Why don't I just start my own daycare? I was
Hmm.
already running a business and I could add on to that. So I did. Opened up a daycare here in Portland, Oregon, got certified, and built out a beautiful daycare in a gorgeous home. And we became certified to provide French curriculum because my husband speaks 6 languages, and it was really, really cool. Hired a director of operations. Now, I am a money person. So, of course, I was not going to give her access to the money. Of course, I wasn't going to give her access to the account. And what I'm about to tell you is true social engineering. Now, when we were working in the daycare, which is very profitable, if you ever want to have a profitable business, go into the daycare business, right? It's very profitable just for a lot of reasons. And so we were working with affluent parents, but because I love to serve people, I decided to strike a contract with the state of Oregon. And in that contract, we actually helped children who didn't have the means to go to an expensive daycare. And they would basically, the parents would get subsidy, right? So basically, the state of Oregon would pay us. Now, in the state of Oregon, or anyone, if you are doing any contract work with the government, you and I both know that that government is going to pay us really slow,
Hmm.
right? We're not going to pay in 15 days. We're probably not going to pay in 30 days. And at the time, the state of Oregon was paying about 4 to 6 months out. Okay. So you need to know that. You need to know that as setting the stage.
So you're carrying those costs for the daycare for
I'm
that
carrying
long.
the costs, but that's
Okay.
okay because I'm going to get cha-ching,
Yeah.
right? And I'm doing the right thing. I'm helping
Yeah.
kids who normally don't have
Serving
access.
the community.
I'm
Yeah.
helping the community. I'm doing all this. Now, I was paying the director of operations. And not only was I paying her a good wage, I was paying for her apartment as part of her benefits. Okay, here's where it went wrong. This is so sophisticated, Morgan. I can't even to this day.
Social engineering is wild. It
This
really.
is so wild. You ready for this?
Hmm.
How did she work around it? The contract to the state, because she was the expert in it, when she went to sign it, she signed that all the funds would go to her name and her
Oh.
address.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Because
Now,
she submitted the paperwork.
because she submitted the paperwork. Now, I was trained as a financial expert to what? Sign off on the bank statement, but I never thought in a
Mm.
million years it would have been through the contract. So what was happening is every time we would service the kids, she would bill and she'd get paid. Now I was waiting and I would say to her, "Where's the money?" "Hey, Miss Kedma, it's 4 to 6 months out." And so I didn't get the tip. Now, 4 months later, I knew something didn't make sense. But how could I get in when she signed the paper? So I
Mm,
impersonated her on the call to get into the state, and I
mm,
acted like her to
mm,
see, was there something there? And they finally disclosed and they said, well, of course, you've already been given $50,000.
mm,
Next payment was. So by the time I figured it out, she had deposited $50,000. Now, is that embezzlement? Of course.
mm-hmm.
So then what happens? So I notify the state and I notify the police, bring in a detective. What do you think happened?
It's a really good question. I'm not sure. Did they did
You
they
want to take
vic
a guess?
did they victim blame you? Did they tell you it was basically your fault because she had it in her name and it got deposited into her account?
That is 100% correct.
That's crazy.
So she got to keep all the money. There was no criminal, like I couldn't actually legally go after her.
That is crazy. She wasn't a partner in the business at all or anything,
No,
right?
she was an employee.
Wow. Okay.
She was an employee. So she got to keep all the money. That fundamental decision closed our business.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how can you sustain with that? Yeah.
We could not sustain.
Wow.
I probably cried myself to sleep for 6 months
Oh,
because not only did I have to say goodbye to these amazing children, but the devastation of a woman, and I'm not a sexist or anything, but when a woman betrays another woman, like I could not understand that, especially with someone like me that was trying to set everyone up for success. Like everything I did was right,
mhm.
and it still failed. And I was the one that had to tell the parents, we have to close the business. I mean, it shattered me. It shattered me because this was a perfect example of a real criminal that got away with everything. And she was so good. She was so good.
Do you think that she had done something like that before?
100%. Because she knew it inside and out. And that's why it was so sophisticated. You see, I was trained in my business. I was trained in the MBA. Look out for the financial controls. But never in my wildest mind did I think it would be circumvented in the contract.
Mm,
All she had to do was change it from my name to her name,
hmm.
and then it becomes binding.
Yeah, it's so easy to do. Even if you had filled it out and looked at it the right way, if you handed it to someone else to submit, it's very easy
Yes,
for them
and
to,
that's exactly what happened. That's
wow.
it. You see, I had done all that, but like anything else, right? Whether I'm working with an assistant or she's a director, what would I do? I would have her do the final submission.
Hmm.
That was it.
Wow. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about
Mhm.
the trials and tribulations of that, but to your
Devastating.
to your note, it's not about intelligence, right? It's
It
not
is
about,
not about intelligence.
and
It's, yep.
yeah, I was just gonna say, and I think that, another really important takeaway, you guys, and why this is such an important topic is that, we talk about all of the benefits of things like technology and AI and all of the different areas that it can make our businesses and make our lives easier. But like we say, with great power comes great responsibility. The ability for us to use these tools in a negative way is now greater than it's ever been before. And it's actually a huge area of professional practice for my husband. So I feel like I've absorbed a lot and just kind of listening and seeing how they think about this and the in the defense space and the security space, because the ability for bad actors to socially engineer, to find out and mine information, the ability for them to spoof and create things that look real and look legitimate,
100%.
to alter documentation is just through the roof now. And so we have to be even more vigilant and talking about this all the time, because the ability for people to go in and trick your
Oh,
employees,
yeah.
people who are just trying to live their lives and do a good job with good
Do a
intentions,
good
it's
job.
very easy for them to be tricked.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So even now, well, after all these years, we're talking 15 years, still very, very difficult for me to talk about.